is November 21st and time for the Friday Funnies. You know, after watching the fluctuation in the market again this week, I realized that my 401k is now down to about a roll of quarters. But I have taken that roll of quarters and invested it in my own personal bailout program. All it's going to take is one lucky coin and I'll be set for life. So I'll let you know how that works out for me. In the meantime, I would like to start this week with a solution to the impending collapse of the U.S. auto industry. I think the government should give the big three automakers $1 billion. In exchange, they would give the government 100,000 automobiles. The government would then take these cars, which in effect they bought for $10,000 apiece, and sell them for $11,000 apiece. Now, the auto companies have the cash that they need to operate, and they've gotten rid of all of their inventory. The government has made a cool $100 million profit by selling the cars at a minimal markup, and 100,000 Americans now have a brand new car that they can afford. Mr. Obama, if you're watching this, please give me a call. I will fill you in on all of the details. In the meantime, here are the details of this week's top news stories. These first three stories I lump under the category of projectiles of mass destruction because they just go to show that when guns are outlawed, people will start throwing stuff at other people. Let's start off in Port Orchard, Washington, where a man was arrested for assaulting another car with a wrench. According to witnesses, he was driving down the road at a high speed. He threw a wrench out of his car, hit another car in the driver's side window, shattered the window, and hit the driver. Fortunately, the driver was not seriously injured. He only suffered a wrenched neck. Thank you. Meanwhile, in Lincoln, Nebraska, another case of road rage had a man attack a car with an axe. That's right, he threw an axe at another car, but it struck the windshield with the blunt end first, so the driver, fortunately, was only bruised. But when the police asked the axe holder why he threw an axe at the other car, he simply said, "'Cause my wrenches are too darn expensive." And finally, in Port Lucie, Florida, a man faces domestic battery charges and was arrested this week when he attacked his girlfriend with a sandwich while she was driving in the car. She was driving, they were arguing, he threw a sandwich at her, it knocked her glasses off, but other than that and a little mustard stain on her top, she was uninjured. The sandwich that was used? A club sandwich. You betcha. All right, well, there's no place like home. I think we all agree. As the holidays approach, we all want to be able to spend time with friends and family. And I believe that was the only reason that Chad Toy returned to the McCracken County Jail in western Kentucky. Mr. Toy is serving a sentence down there for theft, a 4-year sentence. And he was assigned, his duty was to clean up the lobby of the jail. I didn't even know jails had lobbies, but while he's down there cleaning up, he noticed somebody left a door open. So he ran out of that door and ran away from the jail as fast as he could, only to return a few hours later. He even rang the doorbell so they would let him in. And they said, "Why did you come back?" And he said, "I forgot I was in charge of the jail Thanksgiving party." Finally, whatever happened to good old rest in peace? All right, Gladwin Taft Russ III, that's his name, Gladwin Taft Russ III, was a pallbearer at his father's funeral. That would be Gladwin Taft Russ II. When he was down there, he was approached by 5 North Carolina sheriff's deputies who had a warrant for his arrest. Well, he resisted their efforts to arrest him, and a scuffle broke out to the point where one of the officers used his taser on the man. This immediately caused the other pallbearers to throw their hands up in the air and all say, "Don't tase me, bro!" In the meantime, the coffin is now of its own free will and it is rolling down the street. Fortunately, one of the mourners had lozenges with them, so they were able to stop it, because we all know that the lozenges are the only way to stop the coffin. Hey, that's all I have for you this week, and you're probably darn glad of that. There will be no Friday Funnies next week. It's going to be the Friday after Thanksgiving, and I am taking the day off to spend it arguing with my relatives. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I may be rich then.